Inside the 27th of April 1961, the Union Jack, wearing the British flag, in Kandong, na Salone. And we've been lift up the green, white, and blue, we na the Sierra Leonean flag. 65 years on, we country, Sierra Leone, don't go through series of phases in terms of development. We don't encounter a series of challenges. And today we get a conversation around waiting we don't achieve inside this past 65 years, waiting at the challenges, and waiting we go do moving forward. So inside the program today, we're in an independent special where the country from Unimark Live. Me where they present the program, my name is Shebora Samba Payamba Kamara. And I get special guests them where they are for help me inside the conversation today. This is Unimark Live and with the broadcast from Fatima Campus Studios. Inside the studio, like I say, I get big people them where they can help me inside this conversation. I want for take me time and turn the mic to them so they go introduce themselves fine one to one we wonderful listeners. I will start with the man on the extreme right. Good morning and welcome to Unimark Live, the Independence Day special edition.
Good morning, Payamba, and good morning to the people of Makenia and Sierra Leone. Myself na Honorable Peter Payamba Kuruma of Bombali.
Welcome, Honorable Payamba. Yes, over to you, ma.
Okay, good morning, family mwidi watch we na Unimark Live. Me na Emilia Kamara Jengo, and me na the Executive Director for the Women's Forum for Human Rights and Democracy, Sierra Leone.
All right, well, I go turn the mic at the other end. I go start with the man who did my immediate left. Good morning and welcome to Unimark Live.
Thank you. Me na Unisa Patrick Kamara, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of Makeni.
Thank you.
Fambul on a morning, me na Amidu Marufona, me na the head of a school inside Makenia, but me na also the chairman for the Conference of Principals of Secondary School, Northeast Region.
All right, I want to start with you, Barrister Fona. You know, you are an educator and you serve as the chairman for the Council of Principals. I want to start this conversation around what do you think, say, as a country, we don't achieve so far within these 65 years in terms of education. You think, say, we don't do anything significant in that direction from where we take over from the British people who colonize we? How much progress you think, say, we don't make in that sector there?
Thank you very much. My family, I want to say happy independence anniversary to all of we. And this is a very important question. One we get to do with the book learning business. By the time we become independent, 1961, April 27, we've been getting great aspirations as Sierra Leoneans, especially in the book learning sector. And inside that sector, we've been doing so well, such that they've been taught we the Athens of West Africa. Within that means simply mean, it means say then and day, where you look for a country way forward looking or cities way forward looking, we get greater civilization. Now Athens you want for go. And because then compare the level at which we be educate we young people them and people already come out across the region, not to be mistake for they refer to Sierra Leone as the Athens of West Africa. But over time, that one day not exist any longer. Not so because we deliberately don't cause the fall. I go say, sometimes na part of the effects of the war we've been suffer, we've been getting in this country. It make everything become stagnated. Nothing not be the move. To the extent that Peking go dinner house and not able to go to school for over 2-3 years, some man miss out on education entirely. The whole educational infrastructure will be get then and the war make then cease for exist. Then burn school buildings. People then go without teacher training opportunities. And as a result, that stage where we've been there, we refer to ourselves as the Athens of West Africa. We lost her. We lost the stage, we lost the pedigree, and we lost everything. However, fast forward, we don't strive for bring ourselves back, albeit in a very, very slow pace. Again, we're in a country where we normally can say we're in a country of resilient people. We're in a country where we the beer weather, perhaps not that way they are go put time where we all go understand it's like we the beer weather. So I don't care how things tough. We always dey try for see how best we will go through and survive at the end of the day. So for me, where educational system don't survive, then difficult situations then dey. And more importantly, them courage way we political leaders them, especially these governments, we actually think say need day for let we put more effort in education. Again, education will be the road where then they use for make we get a better human development capacity in this country. So the president may really think, say, okay, if we for develop we human capacity, or the way we people and they think, the way then they act, the way then they talk, I think the easiest way for do am na for go through education. And more ambitiously, then pronounce a GDP contribution into the education sector. I think it's about 20 or 22%. 22%. And you'll expect all things being equal. For say, plenty money, suppose now for the coming inside education. And then they go catapult to go take we to that level, will be the way that you refer to as the Athens of West Africa. Perhaps, if not the greatest city, maybe we don't refer to ourselves as another city that is so acclaimed for education.
All right, okay. Make I hold you the lawyer for now. We go can look at the impact of them pronouncement here where governments will make over time. Let we see if it reflective on the people. But we'll go come to that. Make I come to another educator way Mr. UPK. UPK na the Dean for the Faculty of Social Sciences. So I want to let you take me through 65 years ago, Sierra Leone gained independence. You think, say, we'll be ripe enough for let we gain independence at that time, considering the realities what we don't face during these 65 years? You think, say, that was right for let we gain independence at that time?
If you ask me, I'm one of the people who believe, say, we've not been prepared for independence.
Why? Why you think so?
Because how much we don't do since independence for we self as a people. Me have been prefer the colonial governor, the Sidona State House, than we own elected president and the Sidon na Sierra Leone. But let us go back to what I mean. You see, I agree with Amadou say educational access. The increase. Where book learning can at Limba, especially for women. Where book learning can at Limba, Mama want for let them play good school. But they tell us say no education are for boys. So, and that's not the one graduate take even to engrave, because they give brother an opportunity where you know get today. School open to everybody. Well, and I don't want to start with the, well, I want to just mix with the bad and the good. Unfortunately, Sierra Leone starts on a very bad footing. When Sierra Leone gained independence, 43 people, APC members, been there na Pandemba Road, na didn't sleep. They arrest them from 17th April, so take independent dome, they left them back, they not tried them, because I'm melting. And in court, we bring independence, being the argue say, then why they want to disturb public peace. Well, Sierra Leone, I argue say, it gets independence on a silver platter. When you think about countries, now, some countries in Africa, the way they get independent, Algeria, right? Mozambique. How many they get for fete the wait man, literally, for let them get. But we then just wake one morning and call, say, well, all man go to Lancaster House, then go disagree, then go agree, then sign. Although that's independent, Sheki, I've been one of the gentlemen, one of the women in the delegation, because Hamilton, a large number of people go to Lancaster House under a united front for go negotiate independence. When they don't give the independence, but you see in the rate of independence that Britain for keep the seaports, you know, then a lot of other things, Sheikh Komore come, he begin mobilizing people and say, well, this is not independent, then he can't give it so. Then they give me the rope, then hold the cow. So, and when you think about one other achievement, then go back to 1964. Sir Milton Magai died suddenly, April 28, 1964. Me and other historians, when they argue, say, order for them be the prime minister, not Sir Albert. Because on one or two occasions, when Sir Milton they travel, John Kerry Fasmat and Sanusi Mustafa don't serve as prime minister. Okay, and a lot of people back within the cabinet being argue, say, that decision not correct. When Sir Magai go, when Sir Milton died, the next day, April 28, in the evening, nine brother Sir Albert. Why this is say Sanusi Mustafa and a few other people be raised alarm with them, not to be mended them, and one have been Western area, the other one have been Northern province, the other one are the Eastern province. What is Sir Albert do? The first we do, now for sack. Then 3 people and they all be opposing. And yes, we go say on infrastructure, we don't try because you know the only way.
So before we dey go to infrastructure,
Okay, let her go.
I just want for let you clarify. You think say because of that change will take place from Sir Milton to him brother Sir Albert Magai, you think say they will begin get some wrong as a country?
Honestly, a lot of historians they place the thing squarely on Dana one in a state of chain. Sir Albert when it come with a tribal slant. I don't argue most times in most programs say, you see, Madam Yo, now a reincarnation of Sir Albert. You know, Sir Milton, Sir Albert Nine died, then he come back in the person of Madam Yo. All the extreme, whether not the absentees in law, whether not the Public Order Act, Nine Acta, whether for think about a Republican status, for think about one party, it was inside there. And when you watch with current situation, I don't see difference. And I want to go back to 1964. So when it come, because in not being get legitimacy, it begin to victimize people we been there around them. Then election came in 1967. When the election came in 1967, the election become contested. What thing happened? Sir Albert used Lance Anna when I been tribesman, right? Sir Lance Anna order Hinga Norman, who was a young lieutenant, for arrest Siaka Stevens and the Governor General Una Lightfoot Boston. Start the first school April 19. Unfortunately for them, April 21, there was another coup where A.T. Jackson Smith, Ambrose Genda, and few others then set up what they call the NRM. Because if when in 1967, that singular, when that couldn't happen, we get what they call that Ambrose Genda they form the National Reformation Council, we rule for 13 months. After the 13 months back, then call the other coup will come in 68, April 9, and get the sergeant coup. So why then now they come say, okay, let them share power with SLPP. Now Sheki say, well, me win. This man then they don't win me. They don't give me power. They overthrew me. How now me go can share? Say okay, until I say so. So from 1968, so by 1973, it don't edge out all the SLPP people. So by the time they reached 1973, it was a de facto one party. And there was an election in 1973. SLPP said they don't take part. So what happened? So from 1973 to 1978, it was a de facto one party. 1978, they legitimized them. From 1978 to totally the soldier in the camp. So why come back? Me and when you read The Agony of a Nation, one of the arguments the way AKK put up say, if in 1967 when SLPP be lost that election, they accepted the loss, they sit down as a responsible opposition, some of the things then way happen. where Sheki come, where he do, enough for don't do them.
All
But
right.
Sheki come Guinea, a bitter man.
All right. Mr. Yupikela Holiday,
Okay.
we go come continue with the history. Make a turn the mic over to we Iron Lady. We'll get at the studio. Madam Emilia Djengo. Since we gain independence, we not be the yegi much about women. They win a key players right from the inception. You think say Dandy also gets anything for do with development trajectory right from that point to the current state where we are as a country? The fact that we know Yeri women prominently from the days when Sierra Leone gained independence, moving on to maybe only the latter years. What do you think?
Shebora, you go agree with me, say, from time immemorial and up to this time here, we still get the percentage of women them way very, very high. We still plenty past demand them. And it's just a reality that if you get a situation who say the majority of the population, no, they participate fully in the governance system of a country, what do you expect? So for answer your question, I will say yes. We start forget them from that point when UPK they narrate the history of Sierra Leone to we and in governance system. I be dey hope say at least he go catch one whom I name day, but not by default. Not dey even El Akoblo in history not too much strengthening on governance system. So you go find out say we will make up the majority na Sierra Leone, not they fully participate in the governance system. And so we get a situation usai the few, I will say the minority, now them be there in governance and they still they control the governance system of the country, and we still they get the same problem them where we they experience. The thing the way UPK don't narrate so not a thing the way new to waiting they happen. Probably it not they happen in that kind nature where it happened then, but we still they see the signs, the symptoms, and every other thing where currently they go on. So yes, I will say to you, because women they not be done they take active role in the governance system of Sierra Leone, make we get all of them problems the way we don't get over the years, and we still continue for the get them. Even though now a bit they change, the scenario don't they change. Imagine from where Sierra Leone gained independence in 1961. Now only in 2022 get the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act. An act where they talk about how do we bring women, to a certain level. And that's minimum 30%. And even that minimum 30%, the people still, they misinterpret and for just be 30%. So imagine a 65-year-old country, just few years ago, they think of how majority of the population of that country they go get at least minimum 30% quota in terms of representation, in terms of appointment, in terms of every other thing where they make the country they develop. So sometimes I sit back and ask myself, are we really serious about the things them where they move this country forward? And the narrative not change it, Shebora. The narrative still not change it. Whether we like it or not, women are still in the majority. And sometimes you have those people who argued they are weaker sex, and still they find it very difficult to understand what's the perception, what's the thinking around that issue of being a weaker sex. Where even the war for like end na Sierra Leone, women play a very great role for ensure say we end the war na Sierra Leone. We get stories of designer banguras of many women who stood out there and say enough is enough. And who are those who we are fighting? The men, Now the men be the fight, and we become the victim during that war. We become the victim. Now we then rape, now we then abuse, now we then beat. A lot of men they also suffer, but majority of those who suffer, now we the woman them. But at the end of the day, now we turn back and say enough is enough. This war is supposed for end. people go say, but again, when the history they read, if you pick a camp into the end of the war and read the history, go begin tell you, but President Jan Kabay go tell you, but men them, you know, we finally take the decision for lady. So we are still struggling in situations, Usai, even the small efforts the way women and they make, we still not able to recognize it and amplify those efforts.
Madam
So for
Jengo,
we, it's a serious challenge.
yes, so with the claim say things no really don't change it with the status of women. Somebody go argue say with the 30% quota, especially with representation into governance, since it only happen over the years, for many people and things that are significant progress will don't take place.
I not say things not change it. In terms of women, I say for a country we don't hold 65 years. Now just few years ago we begin think of getting 30% representation for women. When mean say it's a progress, but I'm just thinking, imagine you don't hold 65 years. Then I begin tell you say, now you for begin wear clothes fine for yourself. Now you for begin eat good food for yourself. Now you for begin take decision on your own at 65. This is the point. But notwithstanding, yes, there has been progress. Of course, we don't see changes and we don't see women them now at the end of affairs. But initially, your question was if now because of women the lack of representation over the years make we dey usai we dey so, and I said yes, it's because of that and much not change it.
So now this progress don't take place and we get women in crucial positions. But for very many people, and feel like we are still having the same challenges over the years. We still experience the same problems. So what then? What's difference? We think say the women we don't take part into governance and so many other sectors don't make over the years.
I want to disagree with you, Shebora, that the system still there. We get the areas them where women them don't they take leadership. We don't they see changes. For the first time, na Sierra Leone, we now they talk about tourism. We now they see when you they count the ministries them. Now this country, if you want for take a ministry where people they look up to, tourism was never part of those ministries where you go consider. But now we have a woman in that ministry, and for goodness sake, even in this independence anniversary, we dey hear about tourism. So for me, that's just one example I will give you. I will also give you the example of Freetown City Council. Say what you may, a woman is heading that city council despite in opposition. I hope you understand the point where they make. She is in that position, not in party gain her power, but she's still making progress. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are difficulties, but she's still making progress. We don't also get the office of the Auditor General, where a woman don't head, and we see what happen. But again, it's Shebora, in as much as the woman and they make progress, they want to make progress, they are also being stifled by those men where they up there and where they give them or where they appoint them. Imagine the office of the Auditor General. What happened? Why the Auditor General, who was a woman, was suspended? Why would we say she was suspended? Because she stood firm, because she believes say nobody will shake me, because he believes say I should do the right thing whether or not it involve this office or it not involve this office, and because they feel say okay, you want for prove stubborn, you want for prove hard, you want for prove difficulty. What's happen now?
All right, okay. All right, thank you. Now it's on the mic to Honorable Peter Payamba Kuruma. From 1961, we get a lot of challenges we don't face as a country. But if you ask so many people, they will tell you say the problem, the most important problem we get in this country in our leadership. You in an office where for many people, that office stay now in supposed to shape this country. Now in the only office we go able to hold the powers that be accountable. But we don't see over the years a lot of things that don't take place, and we either parliament silence about or don't take a position. We no please the people of this country. What do you think say now the role we parliament don't they play over the years for ensure say we develop this country, and how effective you think say una don't dey play that role there. Honorable.
Thank you so very much. Let us start by saying I challenge UPK a little bit for say, unlike other countries, we know Sierra Leone not fit for the democracy as much as we do. I think say Sierra Leone and we people for they fought for this democracy, and rightly so. And rightly so, they fought for the independence, and rightly so. I mean, if you take the common primary history of, for instance, the Otax War, now a simple fight against British domination or rule, and simple say, why for pay for me also I don't build, kind of. But at that time, at that level, that was what it is. And through that, 1961, we independence. And I not feel say we not been prepared. I not been feel say we not been prepared. Because just after the independence, one of the achievements, if we look at the topic for today, was the establishment of parliamentary democracy. And what did they be envisioned? They envision participatory democracy, bring people on board for make we chart the way forward for the country. So going forward, despite the slow pace and the challenges that we've been there, we can't get the 1991 constitution, previous from other constitutions. So what did they espouse? At least moving from a one-party system of governance, which in itself, again, was a success, moving from one-party system of governance to a multi-party system of governance, which itself was born the 1991 or strengthened by the 1991 Constitution, was to say, how can everybody in your own little role play in your own part? So, over the course of the period, and for a context, we for ask several questions. Today, as we talk, at 65, can Sierra Leone pride itself of being a valid member of the international world order? Can Sierra Leone claim to be a nationalistic Sierra Leone? You know, if we think of back home. The answers we will likely come from them questions will be a no. And why is that so? I think, say, that independence in the structures, the parliamentary, the judiciary, the executive, that independence, we them forget for operate, is missing, coming to your question. So here, me as a member of parliament, I don't always talk, say, one of the problems of Sierra Leone is parliament. And it's parliament because parliament no get the independence for do what it for do. For ensure say we enact laws where they're equitable. For ensure say we hold the government accountable for in doings. For how they spend money, for how they deliver their services.
But honorable people go say the laws of the country give una all them powers then they as una primary functions for make these laws, for play oversight function and for represent the people.
Correct.
So waiting at the team where the whole una back for play that function the way una supposed for.
As at now, that is theoretical. It's very theoretical. You know, section. I want for draw the attention of everybody for say, Parliament. There is a provision. Parliament regulates itself. That is to say, with no executive, no other authority except Parliament. How laws are made, the executive, through a ministry, through a department, whatever, then they look at an idea, put her into a policy framework, through the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, put her, and bring and come, say this is, this it go concur with the objectives of government. So it will bring up for cabinet concurrence, And if they can get the concurrence, then bring them to Parliament for ratification. And ratification here means we look at the object, we look at them through every lens, patriotic lens, nationalistic lens. This, if it the bill, this law, if passed, will it serve the generality of Sierra Leoneans? Will it serve just one type of people? If it does serve the generality, then we, Parliament, supposed for ensure say that is not passed. But if there is good intent in there, we can also help the government for say we make them better, which is where una can hear pre-legislative hearings. And those pre-legislative hearings, we sit down and we and now and the proposer, we come with the bill, we say this is what you thought and this is what we are thinking. Before we go another well, for go debate them and cancel them, we they ask you for make you refine them this way. If the person we come for can pilot them, instead of agree, we refine them, we get a document, we'll go to the plenary, now for just make we do the processes now. So these processes now, if we do them the way the theory don't talk, we practicalize them. It means say, we don't foresee say, well, this year, SLPP in Indian government right now, now a political gain for SLPP. So therefore, members of parliament on the opposition side, on the SLPP side, go ensure say no matter how it turn, if it is not no good, the SLPP members of parliament go stick for her, go support her. The opposition go say no, this is not quite what we think for the progress of we people. Then the ruling bench go say, now just criticize what they criticize. But that is the intent for parliament, for make we debate. That microcosm when we did for represent the general, we for instance say, those views of the north, the south, the east, the west. So, my answer is yes, I accept. And look at what Ms. Django talk about the women in position, Auditor General, and how it be. Those are we legal agree with me. Those are tenured positions where the Constitution say if you serve there for X amount of years, without know what they say, any government will come not to your business left and day. Except for a few reasons, infirmity of the mind and other things where you go get right for pull and day. And for pull and day self, now process, long process. But here, we can now come, we bridge those constitutional provisions at will best, pull them without no regards to. So how then can we, those questions that comes to say, how far have we come as a country, at 65? Have we actually, come to bear the intentions of our forefathers for see we progress, for see we march in the 21st century, for be like other countries, who say we don't live, we see how then they practice their democracies. You get the obnoxious section 77K, now the Constitution of Sierra Leone. You are in parliament because of this. Yeah. If you
because
talk,
my question, and especially when they come out lately, say, well, look, members of parliament, they go to parliament, presumably for represent their constituency. But if you get in the law a provision where they say for all allegiance to your party, then it begs the question, who are you really they represent in the parliament?
Certainly so. Who are you they represent? And for me, even when we talk about the constitutional amendment now, we get a constitutional amendment bill right now in the parliament. And some of us, which would be the expect, was to see in that amendment bill a proposal for change, for expunge that section. It is not even there. Because for now, it's serving a purpose for the politics, the what they say there. Una can know clearly say on the side of APC, there are 2 members of parliament who don't dissent. We don't dissent. So 77K rightfully for don't affect them right now. Yeah. But because we then dissent in parliament, down then they provide support to the ruling bench. So the ruling bench they say no, even though the law is there, He said, no, we are not counting
All right.
that.
Well, we will
So,
take
yes,
the conversation
Parliament
to
is a
how
problem.
much progressive laws them we wanna think say wanna don't pass over the years. But we go candy. Fambul, you still the watch Unimac Live, and today we get the Independence Day special edition as we broadcast from Fatima Campus Studios. Remember, say you could be a part of the program. You could go on the live chat and send you message to we panelists. Them. We don't get series of messages and series of questions. We don't come. I go on for just go through them quickly and we go continue with the conversation. I will start with one we come off from Musa Babai. Musa Babai say strongly agree with I don't know Mr. UPK or all right. The other comments they come up from Biriwa Multimedia is say okay, that is just a compliment to Unimac Live. SYK also the compliments Mr. UPK. Mr. UPK is a gem on history of Sierra Leone. Musa Babai. I strongly agree with Mr. UPK. We are never ready to take the responsibility of self-governance. The other one is just a comment to say commendation. Rosette Arena. They ask, what year was the conference held at Lancaster House? Another question from El Dictionary. Say, over the past 65 years, what would you identify as Sierra Leone's most significant achievements in governance, education, and economic development, and how sustainable are these goals? He also asked another question. He said, despite the progress, issues like youth unemployment, corruption, and infrastructure deficits remain. Which of these poses the greatest threat to national development today, and why? I hope some panelists then they take notes of some of them concerns and questions here. Mahmoud, I don't know, is it Mahmoud Aruna? Okay, Mahmoud Aruna. They say, good morning and happy independence to Sierra Leone, okay. A dictionary, they ask again, looking back at Sierra Leone's history, including the Civil War and the post-war recovery, what key lessons should guide policy decisions in the 21st century? Another question from Almami Baibure Toure. It is say, Madam Django, are you saying if women are given the platform to participate in the political space, they will lead to a better Sierra Leone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't even need for it, eh? All right. Rebecca Sise, they say, what are the biggest achievements Sierra Leone has made since the end of the Civil War? And another question, of course, it's now a commendation to Madam Django. Well said, Mrs. Django. It's from Mariam Adalanda Jallo. Dokas, David Kamara, also they say, I solely agree with Madam Django. Mahmoud Aruna, okay, I love the question. All right. There is John. We say, what lessons from the past 65 years should guide Sierra Leone's leadership in the next 20 years? We don't get plenty questions. All right, let's just take them to here, then we go continue with the program. John Abbas, they ask, they say, all right, thanks so much for such an amazing program, but my question is, what have we gained as citizens of this country? Landing from John Abbas Kamara. Albami Baibure Toure, they ask, sure, Honorable Sir, the Parliament is not independent enough to perform its functions independently. This regional politics is really becoming a problem in Sierra Leone. Henrietta Sanko, sorry. Madam Django, in which year was the Auditor General suspended? Rosette Arena, they ask, what were the allegations discussed during the tribunal for Madam Lara Taylor Pierce? I saw two Sawane, they say good morning. Okay, all right. Say good morning, happy independence. Continue for listening to the program. We're in the Independence Day special. We come to you from Unimac Live. And we get distinguished guests that we're there with me today. We get the Honorable Peter Yamba Kuruma. We're a member of Parliament for Bombali District. We get Madam Emilia Kamara Django. We're the director for UFRAD and a very strong voice for women empowerment in this part of the country. And we also get Eunice Patrick Kamara. We're the Dean of Faculty, the Faculty of Social Sciences, the University of Makeni, and also a popular media voice, na Sierra Leone. And we get lawyer Amidou Fona. We're the chairman for the Council of Principals, na the Northeast region. Yes, so we guest them, we listeners, we viewers don't send series of questions. But I want to go back to Lawyer Fona. In as much as I want to let you comment holistically on this, but I really want to push you to the area of education because you know a principal and you the head principal them at the north. There was the thoughts, especially where we be the primary school and they tell we say we get one single be the sing learning is better than silver and gold. You know, over the years from the time we gain independence, we don't say this over and over again that learning is better than silver and gold. You know, how you think say that's reflective of for realities? You think say this learning really don't prove say a valuable than there with many else who gets in this country?
Thank you very much. I honestly think say that particular song may speak to we values as Sierra Leoneans. We people them of old who been say they no learn plenty book, but then and day the sum total of that song speak to discipline, it speak to health related issues, hygiene in particular. It speak to the question of you wanting to have the zeal for participating in academic activities. But unfortunately, the conduct of we Sierra Leoneans, that conduct they don't feel like say then song then they will be the singam just because we want to keep the picking them busy, not for the very important values where then song then they carry any longer. And to an extent, you realize that people that we know they learn plenty book nowadays, no disrespect to the one that we get money. Now then are the money man, then are the country. So man we not care about education. It go just sit down, no disrespect also to the politicians them. It go just sit down for politics. By the time you remember in particular power, now go to minister. Over this policy where we don't the broken head forget PhD or for one for become a professor at the end of the day. So you realize say the one that we really not espouse them values then they that in the end of for can become we leaders. And you and I know very well, say your aspirations for achieve anything in this world, they set them because other person don't do one before. And this is where we don't find we safe now. That yes, you they learn the outcome and for you get a better life. In fact, that's what people let me they tell you. If you not go school tomorrow, you get for suffer. Now it's a question if you not spend money, tomorrow you get for suffer. So you don't see we don't kick education at the back. Which we focus on now we economic capacity. How we able to make money fast. You not be surprised when you can go left school, you go ride Okada just because you want to make fast money. So as a result, we get a lot of people who really think say and they push towards empowering themselves economically. But at the same time, they run backwards on education. All right. As much as I know I miss out on this, I honestly think say most of the questions they wouldn't ask. Now the question of what to do and how we get forgot about them. And you go realize say now questions the way they come from pessimism. Majority of we Sierra Leoneans, they're not sure of waiting for happy with you in the next 10 years. I have been into circles where the conversation are that even if there's going to be a change of government in 2028, you will not anticipate anything better. And probably because of which Honorable let talk so. The determination of we politicians, of the elites, for transform this country for the betterment of the average or the ordinary Sierra Leonean is not there. So that whatever is being told to us every day, once they get to that office, obviously something entirely different. Like Honorable say, we can never get independence or experiencing the independence of the three organs there. Because by the composition of our own very constitution, we make the executive so powerful just because they control the resources. And unfortunately, we do not have too many men of integrity in this country. We don't get people that we get mind look at the position like Dr. Fona Bindu. Is it Fona or SL Bangura? Like Dr. Fona Bindu, SL Bangura, Bindu. If we look at policy and say, no, we are not interested again, and they resign. We not getting kind of people in there again. People will go look at policy shifts and say, no, this is not witty with people they want. And as a result, in as much as are the benefits, I not go continue, we not get them again at this country. Everybody, they look for self. Everybody, they look for your economic capacity, in how you go able to develop economically for serve in interest and in picking in interest, and forget about the country. So you are not surprised, we honorably say, even the bill that is in parliament now, 70, for expunge 77K, it's not there. I would not be surprised. Because for all of us Sierra Leoneans, including we they go vote every day, we lack with political party then pass the country. And because we lack with political party then pass the country, that is how we political discourse, with political stature, we don't shape them. So for me, well, to be in a state of despair and understatement, honestly, for this country, I can always imagine if all that we don't go through in the past, especially during this reign of President Bill, if we are going to have a repeat of that in the next year to come, I will imagine what will begin in life then therefore look like. However, in education, we have done tremendously well. Again, now I've been start for say, though in a very snail pace. I want to give the credit this to a fellow Prince William, Dr. David Senge, on this issue of radical inclusion. Albeit it don't transform an out a movement, that's a discussion for another day. But I think that is in itself a way then serviceman and go say you they sweat a policy way for being a national policy. That was a national policy, we good for Sierra Leone's education. And a radical inclusion policy where they say, irrespective of who you are, just have access to education. Again, technically, you say, that they drive way to where we were. Also, they say we are all going to our classes with clean hands and faces. And the objective is to go and pay great attention. Remember the qualification. Great attention. Not to just go pay ordinary attention. And I'm sure the greatness was underscored by the fact that if you do not pay great attention, there is no way you will be a great man in society. And that was radical inclusion coming in. And this is why, for me personally, in my opinion, it was wrong in this part for transforming into a movement, a political movement.
All right, like you say, that's a discussion for another day. I want to talk about the realities around with public examinations, especially with the WAS, where they transition school picking them to the universities and or tertiary institutions. We don't realize over the years, plenty people in career or in life, they be changed entirely by WAS. And I don't feel like as a country we make any effort for address that kind of situation there. I don't know if you get a similar opinion to that. Because when we take a comparative analysis with other countries, we, especially in West African sub-region, we also they take these WASC exams, then get alternative exams. You realize now in Sierra Leone, say, if Peking don't go for go sit WASC, especially with the issue of English, you go get all in subject. I get a case, I get me small brother, he sits in WASC, a science student, he gets the B's and A's in all of the science subjects. When it comes to English, he gets D7. So he want to go study medicine. Commerce not even watch him. You understand? So this thing of what's changing people their career and their pathways in life, it concern you?
Respectfully, me not concern me, honestly.
Okay.
I say not concern me because I think say WASC are the minimum requirements, all of which we talk about so, especially education at the tertiary level. I say minimum requirements because if you cannot go through WASC, then the country in future is bleak in terms of education. And this English way we dey look low upon.
So before we digress into English, you say WASC na the bare minimum. So are you saying you believe say all the processes within that examination are perfect?
No, well, that is where I'm coming now.
Okay.
That I say at the barest minimum, it means say every one of us, we aspire for tertiary education. At least we need for able to go through us. Okay. Every one of us. The integrity of the exams, it don't be on the downward trend long before now. I'm not sure we try for let we improve on them. No wonder we get a whole portion of the Anti-Corruption Act as amended. in 2019 or so, where they speak to examination malpractice, where I believe saying that the big elephants that one day in the room when it comes to the integrity of our exams. And I don't know, say this sorry, it's really come out from this book learning business. We, as a country, now we want for bring ourselves to the level of those people we really think, say, which we brother and sisters them they do, we older people they do during the O-level days, it's something unserious. So if you can go agree with me, say, during O-level days, people when they go sit O-level, it's them. Not because they were stupid. Some man, they still fend this English. Some man, in fact, they fail O-level and they teach people the way they pass O-level interestingly. But then you are assured of somebody within an O-level class for able perform any side where you can go. And today, very many of we picking them within our class, they know they perform, reach that altitude. For very many reasons, inclusive reasons we get for do with the parent, then conduct to education, the attitude, how then they present them picking them. Parents go get in picking today in a school, the next year, go to another school, go admit and they, na a new class, and they go meet that same corrupt principal. We not care for no for ask for records, they admit that picking. Parents go get in picking at class 4, as he promotes go class 5, he take and go to another school, he go admit and they for sit NPSC, you meet a corrupt head teacher, where they take that picking day. So as a result, waiting to happen now the parents them and their own determination for taking them picking from one level to the other, now they move with policies on education than we the professionals within the education system. So I agree to say we get problems with the integrity of our exams. We really get problem with the integrity because if the exams are run with the kind control and supervision we really need for maintaining integrity, non-parents don't go pull in picking at class 4. I'm not sure saying they born too many geniuses.
All right, we want for comment on the issue of English. We in a country, we colonized by the British, and we get English as we form a language. But now the question of having English for lay you as a requirement for go to the university is a concern for many people. But I don't know if it also concern you, because just like the curriculum way then be presumably then be implement, we then change, they make some suggestions. Say for those going to the science and technology, for those going to the mathematics and I think numeracy, English not for be a requirement. But I don't think that is communicated with the universities.
Honestly, I don't say that in a bogus curriculum. Like curriculum way, for me, not even supposed to exist right now. As much as we are so determined to get the system of education transformed to one of the 21st century aspirations, but it's so bogus. Even before that curriculum, me and you, Shebra, we sit also. We have problems with people communicating in English, whether in writing or in speech. We get problems with that. And do you know why they refer to it as the Athens of West Africa? When Solomon occupied a podium, you know an educated person is on that podium. Not because they are the most educated, but because we English be very good. And today, you know that they take the credit? The Ghanaians. The average Ghanaian cannot come very close to us Sierra Leoneans when it comes to spoken English. They can't. But now, they get the guts for camp simply because we don't fall beyond repairs, I would say. So
right.
for me,
you
say you want to drag me
yes.
as to whether I'm concerned.
Yes.
The concern where I get now the fact that people should be encouraged for CC English is a medium of communication and instruction, even at international
level. The one way they teach the English, you think say they really they teach them the way they're supposed to teach them?
They are not exempted. I mean, English I read first. Najala. English I read. Mr. Kamaya go attest to it that, yes, I agree we get teacher deficit in English.
Okay.
Now,
right,
most of the teachers...
Like another educator, Mr. UPK, on this same topic around the worst transitioning to the university for the past 65 years, like Fona they say, then they consider we the Athens of West Africa because of our education. because of the fact other people they come out from other places, they come for Canland Book na Sierra Leone. But today, look at where we are. We still a struggle with these basics. What's your perception or view on it?
For me, like Amadou, are no concern. Listen, me na all level as it. Hearing? And Amadou make a statement. But I want to answer a few questions first. Emilia say we have been talk cannot talk about a prominent woman. Ella Koblo Golama na be minister. Honestly, history the member and say now use David Lansana for inspire the 1967 coup, right? Nancy Steele na be a prominent APC woman. Yes, in 1961, now in and 42 other people sleep na Pandemba Road because them be accused and say they want for. Then they got the person in the ask when was the Lancaster House conference? Now from March to May 1960. Come back to was. Look, me na all level as it. Then tell them they see two level. In fact, they say the people then na Ghana in the market them, na Nigeria in the market. The exam been so fearful, and we've been taken very serious. And 1 month before the exam, you see the WAEC motoka they come, then bring and come at the school, open the strong room, the principal keep on day. Right? If they say they get physics today, the principal can open up. That's it. You do that now in this day and age, where WAEC last year, you know the case of them involved bank, because they get exam, that day, the poor driver left Freetown 3 a.m., they come, get accident, because we safe now, as either educators, we integrity questionable, right? And I see Peter the shake it and say they lay squarely on this government about the problems of Sierra Leone. No, APC equally. Look, then they say, well, then get 2 of the members of parliament where they want to recall, where they not agree. If forget, say there was an PMDC MP where they call Legacy Sako. Then PMDC want to recall them. They don't agree. And this other woman, Dr. Bernadette Lahai, being get issue, right? The SLPP want to call them, they don't agree. So it's tit for tat, right? We cannot run a country like that. You see?
Yeah, because already from me, next question, say, because they did it, should these ones also continue with it?
This is the problem. So, and unfortunately, APC, SLPP, now, the same way. I'll give you one classic example. You see, Sir Albert and Shekin have been party them fall apart. Right? When APC take power proper, Sir Albert run away, go exile. He die in America. Now he didn't get announcing for Ghan State funeral. You know, side and pass Hamilton in the body. Sir Albert in the body. From Lunge, Potloko to Bambatok. They not allow into the body for even see Freetown. This is not the degree of revenge where Sheki been to do. And all waiting, then Albert make the absenteeism law. Sabuda na one post with cage, apart from the 3 APC MPs where they been envisaged in the 1960s. Sabuda cage, Sir Charles Magai win a young Peking. He win election 1977. They catch him, they lock on a cell. After 90 days, they left him. They say. This BNT, where the MP then, the APC MP then boycott. So SLP people, they say, let us sit down. Now, so happened 1973. Now that then do we. So for turn and give them. Is that the way you run a country? So, look, and Peter says Sierra Leone get independent. No. What you consider waiting happen in Algeria, Mozambique, right? Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, right? In Kenya, the Mau Mau fought the April 27, 1898 rebellion they talk about, not been the resist colonial rule. And it was a very popular war. It been getting Mende flank, it been getting the Timini flank. And because of the proximity to Freetown, Nagua, right, the 1,000 fighters to Baibure, because Freetown here passed Kailau. Then walk up from Kailau, then go to Port Loko, they help for resist the British. And the Timini chiefs resist the British more than the Mende chiefs. In fact, some of the chiefs, now, especially in the south, apart from the one in the east, they accuse them, people like Madame Yoko and few others, them been there in cohort with the British. right? So, what we still achieve as a people, yes, at independence, it was peaceful. Then even peaceful coexistence, apart from the war, I think it still happen. Yes, we get challenges. I will come to the challenges. Then even human capital development. And my brother, they talk about radical inclusion. Radical inclusion, the people where they say that they bring and can, are stolen credit. Me go school with blind boys, who sit on a class, college school. I go school with deaf and dumb. I will go school. So, yeah, so what do you call, was it not radical inclusion? You see, people praise as if, oh, it was started by a politician, so it's radical. What do you mean the radical inclusion? Pastor, they say they don't bring free quality. I see the old party, 50-year-old man, they go sit down na class with class 5. Who that tell you? They go distort the age dynamics of the class. For me, if I had power, kick them all out of what 80, 90 year power, you know, go adult literacy. So, I mean, you see, we get fundamental, at least we don't manage all the then we don't get one or two peaceful transition. Whatever you say, Sierra Leone are the first country in 1967 where an opposition win power, and the Governor General was going to give power, then this coup happened. That's credit to Unofo. Then in recent years, the peaceful transition from Tijan Kaba to Anes Kuruma to Madabio, whatever you say, I think for me, that we for part we save. I mean, the country is wrong, right? Then the infrastructural development don't improve. Some of the road that the British left now being one yard. At least, yes, we don't able to develop some of the infrastructure, right? On the education front, 22% of GDP, they say they spend on the Pekin, but what are the things that we don't see them produce for the Pekin? School fees, how much na the school fees? Primary school Pekin, school fees na 30 euros. JSS na 150, SS na 160. And where the Pekin and the pass go JSS 1 and SS 1, what in they pay for that 1 year day? The school charges is far more than what they pay for the 3 year or the other year.
Right.
Why are we being dishonest with young people? They refuse to be held on.
Yes,
You know?
we will continue with the conversation. We will continue the conversation. You still watch the Unimark Live Independence Day Special Edition, where they come to you live from Fatima Campus Studios. We get questions where they come at the live chat, and I ask that the panelists take note of them. You get the second set, you get Augustine Bwayamakanu, where they say, 65 years of independence, still the country struggles to feed itself. Poor electricity, and still youth struggle to secure jobs. Where does the problem really lie? Another question from Adam Ajalo, they say, since independence, how far has Sierra Leone in terms of education, healthcare, and economic growth or progress? Another question from Rebecca, they say, if Baibue resisted the hot tax during the hot tax war, why are we citizens of Sierra Leone still expected to pay house rates today? That's an interesting question. Adama Jallo, they ask, how far has Sierra Leone used its natural resources for national development since independence? Demba Kamara, they say, this money analogy really makes sense, but would that then for blame, you not feel say a root some side? Adama Jallo also, they ask, I think women should be included more in governance and leadership to help improve and transform Sierra Leone to a more better country. Okay, now just a comment. Jan, they say, how can Sierra Leone reduce corruption and improve governance to support long-term economic development? I question. Mohamed Patse Bari, they say, we clamor for the empowerment of young people, but unfortunately in today's administration, the young guys have failed us woefully. Samuel Rito, we get series of comments and we want to go through all of them. All right, Samuel Rito, they say, how can Sierra Leone move forward after 65 years of independence if merit, education, and hard work are being overshadowed by networks and favoritism? Beira Multimedia, they say, Mr. Honorable, why the frequent boycott of Parliament? Don't you think it's a disservice to the people who elected you? Another question for Mr. Fona. They say, Mr. Fona, if there is an issue of integrity in our public exams, what needs to be done to restore this in our education, more so when those handling its processes are considered as professionals? Adam Sekabia, they say, at first, they were saying Sierra Leone was the Athens of West Africa, the hub of education, but now, all right. Mohamed Patebai, they also say, the parliament that's supposed to be the wheel of development is becoming an anti-development wheel to the country's development and peace. Adama Jallo, they say, Mr. Shabora, you are perfectly right in this issue of WASC because it has become a blocking stone to so many youths in pursuing their future. And I think the leaders should take note of this aspect. Dr. David Kamara, they say WASC is considered the ending point of education now in Sierra Leone because for you to have requirements is by chance. Lorena, they say nowadays entrance exams, especially WASC in Sierra Leone, is quite draining. And also they say if you as a student can't perform academically, then I see no reason in passing all the other subjects which requires writing in English, but fail the English language itself. Nancy Yolanda, they say, Mr. UPK is very much grounded in the history of Sierra Leone, and honestly, if we as a country are not ready for self-governance, then Sierra Leone will be struck. Mohamed Patebai, they say the presence of technology and innovation in our education is a huge boost for both personal and country growth. While comparing WASC to O-level, you should think of technology. Adama Jallo, they say Sierra Leone is more sweet. Sierra Leone is no more sweet Mama Salone. So many changes and challenges, and our leaders are not even helping out. Instead, they are making situation even worse. Maisa Tusawane, they say, so are the students the main problem on the massive failure of WASC exams? It's a question. And the last one we will take for now, they come from Praise Uchendu. It is say, how has Sierra Leone's economy shaped the country's standing in the international community? Make a come to you, Madam Jengo. You don't listen to the questions really come out from the viewers. You will definitely respond to the one them way and direct to you. But I want to ask you this concerning the country in peace and stability. Over the years, we don't experience series of things where for many people now prompt us for let people them go into the rampage. For a lot of problems happen in the country, for a lot of go into conflict situation where sometimes even the very leaders they ignite some of them thing in there. But for very many people, then they take and say because of the experiences of the civil war where we don't get as a country, now they make people they look some of them thing and they oversight. You think say the leaders they really take the people for granted where they can take some of their decisions and they will get the tendency for provoke this country into conflict?
I would say yes, Shebora, because like you rightly don't mention, people they ignore some of the things them way they happen, probably because of we experience where we get during the civil war in Sierra Leone, and people no one go back to that. Of recent, for me the concern where I get now the kind statement them, talk them way people in authority they say in public places where they become a very serious concern. But in as much as we get the laws them again, for me I think say the Sierra Leone law they become they affect somebody or they interpret and based on the policy way it directly concern with. Like some of the talk the way we they refer to as incitement, as thing the way go ignite war, depending on who that talk am. Now a crime, depending on who that talk am, not to a crime. Of recent we don't get statement the way they make na public forum them, where the individual way talk am, for other people the interpretation na form, na be joke. Now just a waiting, and then you get other people who don't make statement na public, and then go prison. And so for we Sierra Leone people they hold on to the things they rightly like what you say because of we experience over the years during the war, and people no one forgo again. And for me I think say that's the crisis. So sometimes even where the peace index go comot, dem say Sierra Leone rank among the few people that were country that were peaceful. For we dey experience a fragile peace, you know, that kind thing where we people that they say where you cook your bear on top you dey see like say e don cold but under still warm, but people still dey manage dem situation dem dey. But coming back to the issue of WAS wey you mention and the question wey you ask we legal person and Mr. UPK, me I'm concerned. I am concerned especially for a country where not put more premium on with tech voc system, with technology and vocational institutions them, where not well equipped, where not get wetin it take. So if we don't narrow down with educational system on WAS, and if people not sit WAS, I hear Mr. Fona say in Ghana or other places, or I mean O level, people be they sit at 8 times, they sit at 5 times. At this current situation, do we really they expect that same situation for let somebody they sit WAS 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, you know, before he go to university, considering his age and every other thing? Do we think, I would expect Mr. Fona as a principal, do we think of alternative solution for people there? Imagine me, I don't dey 18 years, I sit WAS 110, I dey sit at 8 term. How many years I go don old? You know, I still dey wait for get a paper. So for me, I think say we should be thinking about alternative solution for we educational system na Sierra Leone. If people we make them so attractive in a way, people no go we not pray for people for sit WAS 5, 6, 7, 8 times, but encourage them. If you don't, let me say, in as much as I agree, say yes, let's ask them to be very serious and pay attention to the book. But let's assume you got like somebody, Mr. EPK, they make mention of something. Are they sit 8 subjects in a WAS? And I inside English, they take for write them all. I pass all of the other 7 subjects then they where I use English for write. The way can up at the actual English.
I think somebody
yes, somebody asked that question there. Yes. Where can down to the actual English?
Students often pass other subjects.
Yes,
good grades.
exactly. Not so EPK. Yes, as somebody asked them. Then where can now to the actual English? I can't get stuck. And because of that, it take me 5, 6 years forget that English day before I go to university. This is something we should be worried about and think of an alternative way. And again, for me, the alternative way go be, can we make the tech voc institutions them so attractive? In them other countries, the way they make mention of, so it's not just about picking and pass WAS. Then get alternative, then get other things some way then they do where make if the person don't sit WAS 1 term and he sits 2 term, my mama go say, well, you Buklani not then now you system, God not be making for go to college, but the person gets another thing where he go do where they make them still become useful citizen. For me, I think that should be part of the discussion for the get, rather than me, I will not encourage a sister, a brother for sit WAS 8 term for let you get to the university. I will not encourage that one. Somebody asked me a question, say when Laura Taylor Pierce was suspended. My sister, it happened November 2021, and I not just want for tell you the year, but I want for tell you say, now be just a week or 2 weeks where the Auditor General reports for comot, where implicates, you know, a lot of government offices and that kind of thing. Now that time they suspend, and now that I go left you with. Go to research the rest and know waiting at the crime the way they say they suspend them for, and the other thing. And now they go left you with and for let yourself do small research. But I will tell you, all I will tell you it's that now be November 2021, and I be just few weeks for let they release the Auditor General report. Now that's the answer I go give to that question there.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Jengo. Let me go to Honorable Peter Yamba. Honorable, you don't get series of questions where you come out for with viewers. A lot of them, they agree with you, and they feel like you make a honest description of what's in the happen in the parliament. But now, we look at the future. What does the future hold if this very significant institution, for very many people, the most important institution, because now responsible for make the laws where they guide we as a country. if you get all of these challenges, what does the future hold? What do you think, say, we for do moving forward for we get most of the things right in this country?
Thank you very much, Shebra. What you for pray God for, and what you for aspire for, and what you for pay attention for, now governance, governance, governance. Good governance, I mean. I like the differing perspectives on the gender participation, on education, on it. All of the one in there, it boils down to governance. Last year, I can remember we summoned the Ministry of Education, I think Higher Education, we summoned WAEC. Now, yonder you go see where the people and they argue, then two entities and they argue. One, they talk about we want to do the right thing. Like way legal they talk. We want to ensure say the standards are there. Whilst the other one, they talk about how you want for the numbers for increase.
Who's other one?
If you know now, I don't
No.
know.
We're not in it. If
The
you
ministry
remember
they articulate say, in them promise say exponential numbers for increase, right? And it is about the figures. And for hit these numbers of people, children that have access school, and the rest of it. So clearly, nothing about quality, nothing about whatever. And whilst WAEC Bine say it was a big standoff, was a big and to an extent almost disgraceful. So this is where we are, and the parliament at that time, where we sit on the we are again different. Some of us we think say yes, for accept and work around raising the standards we don't drop so much. Raising the standards we don't drop so much. And me that my sister, like EPKB they talk, where would they see GCSEs? Believe it you me. You know, you now we like you dey study so in a pantap table you dey sleep in a pantap where you tie small you tie so that way you turn so you feel the pain, let you not sleep better. Does it happen today?
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen.
We say we start for 6 months. It was also tough.
Tough. But today, before the Mara, leakage don't come out. From whose side? Which is a governance issue.
So I think Sinai make somebody else be the ask this now. If we want for blame entirely the school picking them, why not
Is it the school
look at the school administration?
Everything.
Those where they
Who are
around.
responsible?
Everything.
Yes.
All of us.
Absolutely.
All of us, including government, including parliament. We must take the essence. You know, which do we want to be considered again the Athens of Africa? We have been overtaken today, but is there a prospect that we come back? Yes, and I agree with you as well. We say alternative forms of education don't left. We dey see even the funding for this thing be infinitesimal. OIC now have get SLOIC. If you go there, it is no longer the OIC way, we had thought of. So, again, this is where somebody talk about the people that will contribute. Why boycott? If Nana would say that. Well, I just want for you this opportunity for, share the view say in parliamentary democracy, you get basic terminologies which are allowed worldwide. You get the boycott, you get walkout, you get the undertones them who can make in a parliament for destabilize. You even get technical things like filibustering, where the filibuster for make you delay and make you wait. These are acceptable norms. So here, if we put it into perspective, if we don't deal at this parliament, at the current numerical strength of the political parties and we go say APC is 52 and SLPP is 80 something plus 2 from APC. So, here, APC go argue, APC go talk, APC go try for plead, APC go whatever, say, like I be the talk. Let us look at the let us look at the country. How it is going to be against this parliament if we pass laws them way not to write laws. So let us do the right thing. But if the essence of what that paper did, that bill did, whatever did, if now for make the ruling bench gain a political point, no matter what APC talk in this context. And by the way, UPK, why do you talk about parliament? I not just mean this government, I mean parliament. It means say now past APC, current SAPP. That's why I refer to as the parliament, the structure. So if the current SLPP bench thinks say, oh, this way itself, now plus on we aspiration as a political party, they will stand on it. So APC from morning to night, we go debate, we go pull all kind of English, we go make and besides, let me tell you, this particular we own crop of parliament as APC, for anything we they come, we they require, we they look at them, we they research, we they study them, and we they prepare ourselves. And amongst we know those who are good debaters. Amongst we know those maybe are weak debaters or new one. But because we want everybody to participate, some of us get the responsibility for teach others. So they bring it. So if you see the debate in our parliament, so until you go see a strong debater start, or like say second time MP or third time MP start, then you go say catch middle day, a first time MP for bringing it up. Then a third time MP. So this formula what we they use, we always they win the debate, but we not they win the decision. Because the decision lie with the speaker. And the speaker now the ruling bench. So most of the time we tell una argue, una talk, now una sabi talk the English, una talk, una don't talk, who will take the decision. So that's what it is. So when you know now say, no matter what you do, you know they get them. For instance, in this case, going against an agreement with government don't enter into, same as a government go take a loan for and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, that get the effect of the law, as my legal now go agree with. It get the effect of the law. So I make you bring in a parliament, not so the people and go take the loan. No. Now you, Mr. President, now you think say, oh, they go take this loan for this, but now the people that they get for pay. So now the same way. If this president, you don't see them, you say, let me come back after the 2023 elections and go into an agreement for national unity. And through this agreement for national unity, there are recommendations we don't come out. We don't culminate to a tripartite something. And from there, they don't zoom into certain things and we form part of the constitutional amendment. Principally, the thorny issue of every government where they come, it go blame, say, the electoral commissioner. So, how can we solve this? This is not about just APC. It's about subsequent governments where they come. It's also about SLPP. Tomorrow you go there in opposition and you decry back the commissioner. So now, let there be a search and nominating committee. We go advertise.
Yeah, but Honorable, when you boycott as a party APC, specifically now because of the appointment of Edmond Alpha as Chief
It is part of it.
It's just part of it?
It is just part of it.
Okay. I'm saying specifically because for many people, they feel like it should have been for the entire electoral reform rather than just for an individual.
No, it is not. No, it's part of it. It is part of it. The electoral, the recommendations about are all some reform of the Electoral Commission itself, which they are snail pacing on, which they don't want to do an oversight. The example is this now. For this last meeting, the APC don't insist. Okay, now, if we take Edmond Alpha as an individual, no pull him. Don't forget that discussion. Now, they see, when they go on radio now, SAPP, they say, oh, APC don't shift the goalpost. Now they talk about Edmond Alpha. Now they know they talk about Edmond Alpha again. Then they talk about electoral reform. Yes, because that was the whole essence. Edmond Alpha was just a part of the problem because evidentially Edmond Alpha be done conducting himself in a way where he don't lack that credibility, and which he don't do, bring confidence again to the electoral process. So that's why he was named. But the essence there is general. Electoral reforms, and inside these electoral reforms, we look at what even the commissioners when you look at them, they're not regionally they're regionally biased. We look at the staffing there, when we don't do we you know with themselves. They're not with themselves. So now we dey say for the simple one, let there be an oversight committee in parliament headed by the opposition. We go provide oversight. Now you see, even when they don't agree, now recently, now SAPP is crying foul. Say no, there should not be that oversight. So why are you afraid? Which cockroaches do you have in that cobweb? Way for afraid say they not for oversight ECSL. So then at the example Landy, what are they talk about? Why the boycott? In answering to that question, why the boycott? The boycott. The boycott is because we don't find ourselves in a situation where the opposition is not being listened to again. And if we look at the three responsibilities of a member of parliament, I think we are doing the right job. It is representation, lawmaking, and oversight. So our people, we have had our people. Our people are saying we are not happy. We are not happy. So we are essentially doing one function that we are constitutionally supposed to do, which is to take back the views of our people to that parliament. So when our people
so
say,
Honorable, now that this proposal for the reform, review of the constitution, they go on, you think, say, that review, they go look at all of those lacunas, all of the issues that we constitution only pose, we for very many people, and think, say, even some of the problems we face as a country, now because of some of them challenges they would in the constitution, you think, say, they go address them?
Well, we hope so, because like you say, they bring them for a pre-legislative hearing. That is to say, when they go sit down first in a corner, we look at them. Get it tete-a-tete. People and bring them view before you go to the plenary. We have done that. And we have raised the questions to the Attorney General and Mr. Jose for say, if this no review, if we go to parliament, it no go pass. And tomorrow when I will come back and blame APC. Why it no pass? There are so many things we then do for can't test the water. They not get for see the light of day. They know that. They don't attempt certain things inside our constitution. Where APC, besides electoral reforms, besides that, the way APC not go take. So thank God that the general he raised his hand up. He said he ready for listen. So the debate will start again on the constitution. If they listen, fine. If they're not listening, you need a 2/3 majority in parliament for amend any section of the constitution. And of course, you need a referendum for amend entrenched clauses. So, at the current numerical strength, APC, SAPP plus all the paramount chiefs and plus everybody, they're not able to achieve the 2/3 majority.
And you don't think, say, people from the APC go sell out in that direction?
That question
we already don't get people we currently even with una boycott two already wait for some people then think say any position where the SLPP take them go ready for join them.
Well, we don't prove them. We agree. We raise our hands up in the Lara Tilopia's issue. There were problems there. But they don't run and they don't come. And by the way, then they under serious scrutiny by the party, and God knows by the time the party holding convention, certain things might happen to those. So there is definitely going to be repercussions. But waiting those we did it, why then do them? So, but then we don't come back. Now we don't test the water from this last one. No, none of us went, did we? None of us went. So that shows say any other one will come, and this is a promise we'll make to our people.
Well, the guy from Agoka go.
No, he not go.
Tamemko
go with all the witnesses. He go by say but now he run back, he come back.
All right, thank you, Honorable. Let me come back to Lawyer Fona. Well, we get few questions. Let me just take them before we come to you. Okay, Vanessa Grant, they say, I totally agree with Ms. Django. There should be other alternative solutions. Demba Kamara, they say, can the honorable member make his explanation clearer, especially the point where he talked about the other one them? These are some of the problems. These are some of the problems that still also assassination development. Okay, Adam Ajalo, they say, I think there should be other provisions in terms of external exams and not just WAS, which has hindered the process and the future for many youths in the country. Mohamed Patebai, they say, honestly speaking, Mr. Shebora, Sierra Leone's biggest problem is our so-called parliament. These guys are not representing our interests. Case study is the increment of the data cost with bad tariff. Honorable, I'll let you take note of that point, Steve, because I go really want to let you respond to that. The issue with the telecoms. Something may happen where then change the subscription from 60 to 100. And Parliament make a strong statement. People were so happy and say now our Parliament is working. And Parliament give ultimatum. Like they remember, we know you word again. And now the 100 will still pay with terrible internet today. So I really want to respond to that.
You're very correct. And again, it's governance and how the Parliament of Sierra Leone is not independent and how the Parliament of Sierra Leone really they will just be partisan and partisan. We did it. We started, called them, we and said there was clear evidence of these people ripping the people of Sierra Leone off here. Once the Parliament don't come, take that first decision, where Unayeri, they make the announcement, then the executive call. The back end. What you did so? What you did so? When I not think say now we wanna they put in bad light. When I not think say we get this blah 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 blah. Then they return. Me personally, we go on an oversight, fisheries oversight. I was a member of the committee on fisheries. Then we go do oversight on one of the fishing companies. Them never knew that there is an interest of the First Lady in that business. When we go, we saw the appalling treatment where we Sierra Leonean people and they receive they as workers. We saw that their nurses were not paid. We saw several other things, and we were questioning. And then, interestingly, the chair of the committee, now SLPP, member of parliament. So, he also not aware. The next thing, now invite Ross Road Police. For can lock up the place. As in can the guy just go in a corner and I call. Before the chair lady he received call from State House. What are you doing? What are you doing? Chair lady get for call we back. Mostly we the APC, because in a corner, say, Honorable, I'm in trouble. Do ya me at the front on our foot? This still all left. That is how. What did that happen? With Sierra Leoneans, we will forgo help and that. We don't betray them. We would say, though, this is what is happening. So to the data, definitely, as a country, why are we not? Then you go come and see the difficult. I don't know whether it's we'll call them the difficult academic concept of subsidization. While sometimes some then go say subsidization, not to a weighted themselves, but it has to be context specific. If you say these mobile people, they know they make profit at now. Why you as a government, you're not injecting new money, so tell what you go do, you sacrifice some of your tax where you put panam for make the effect reduce on the effect reduce on the consumer. On the consumer. Because when you tax the company know they lost so then they increase on what. So why not reduce that? So here again we look at economic governance. You do not grow an economy, and this way I've said it over and over. You do not grow an economy just by raising taxes.
By taxation.
Not by taxation. It's not a good either macro or microeconomic principle. We have said it, but we don't listen to it.
All right, thank you, Honorable. Black and to the other set of questions before we come to the fauna. Dr. David Kamara, they say, so please, what is the government putting in place to provide jobs for qualifying youth instead of selecting specific people because of connection? Mustafa Conte, they say, Sierra Leoneans are still in doubt as to how Zainab Sharif is jailed just because she was trying to talk in favor of Sierra Leone and its people. Demba Kamara, they say, can he really say real things affecting the citizens in parliament if he is afraid to call a political name or figure for their wrongdoing in a public domain? What lies in parliament then? Josephine K. Is it K. Pulon or Pulon? Yes, Pulong, yes. It says, so true, Ms. Django. The passing rate in other subjects is good, but the percentage for English alone is very alarming, especially considering that one needs English to go to the university. Mohamed Pateba, they say APC boycott isn't based on the goodwill of the people, but for their party's interest. They never boycotted for data increment, high cost of living, and more. So, Honorable, what will you say regarding that? Rebecca Sise, they say the government promotes a free quality education program in Sierra Leone, but is the education truly of quality or just free? Rebecca also, they say, are students in Sierra Leone actually receiving the standard of education they deserve under the Free Quality Education Initiative? And the last one, Adam Ajalo, they say, okay, I think we'll get two more. Adam Ajalo, they say, today is independence, and you cannot even tell anymore because our country has been destroyed and damaged so bad that we can't even enjoy our independence like before. So help us God. That Zainab Adama say. Rebecca, they say, are we students in Sierra Leone actually receiving the standard of education we deserve under the Free Quality Education? Yes, over to you, Lawyer, for now.
Yeah, from Laka English, where Adama type, I will say yes.
Okay.
Because if you not receive the kind quality we deserve, I'm not sure say you go type that kind of English today for communicate. That was just a joke. But in any case, me seven as a lone man, I don't agree say we educational system gets so many problems. We get problems with infrastructure, whether it is science laboratory, whether it is classroom building, whether it is about teachers, the availability of teachers, now the places where they really supposed for day, as to whether then teachers and they were even available, they are motivated enough for continue the good teacher work. That's another discussion. But then there is this person also, we before now being asked what who that they provide, who that they handle the issue of integrity in our public exams. I really believe say integrity is a personal thing. This is a personal conviction way for come out from you. I also believe say we policies them also they promote integrity. So coming from the two, I think say the more devastating consequence we don't get in this country. Now that people for push issues of integrity from a personal front, now they will get major challenge. Because we get several laws where they push we to behaving well in public spaces. Offices the way we hold, how we for conduct we say we get the laws then. But somebody rightly say integrity na which you go do na corner. Where you know go get mind do na public. Positive thing where you go do na corner. We know get mind or negative thing where you know get mind do na public. Not do na corner. So you get for be move for get integrity inside you. Otherwise, na problem. And we don't see examples of such. Where people in the place in our offices, including within the education system, you will get one vigilator or supervisor. You ask them for go manage an examination. You will see situations where the vigilator and go and collect money and the picking hand. Where don't collect the money done, and for assure them say, "Una know what you are going to watch for now the possible way they can." For example, because of my role as supervisor, supervising the one the way they supervise the exams. Sometimes as you reach now some school compound, you go you read them begin greet you loudly. So the first question where they ask me say, why do you have to announce my presence? How important I don't become so? But the thoughts in mind, now the fact say, somebody else wants for make those around understand say, person day now we miss now one day part of our agreement. And as a result, make all man put himself in order. And when things then continue for happen that way, I don't care waiting government of Salon do. I don't care the amount of money they invest in education. Because once bad Salomon then a young corner choose for do waiting all right, things they not go work well. That don't affect we educational system. Whether the student then are entirely for blame, I would say no. For the examination performance or the bad education system, I would say no. But then I will argue largely say then get majority of the blame. And get majority of the blame. I don't teach for very close to 17 years now with pride. I don't in a situation where the school picking now then tell me say they don't tire for pull me na do. And I don't listen to other teachers communicating the same, they don't get that same experience. So then think the way Honorable with the talk just now. So you find the uncomfortable spaces for study just so because you no want for sleep. Some man they go put in foot na water. The health effects of that na God one grace sabi. But then those are strategies where they use just so because they wanted to do well. And again, I just want to clear up something.
Somebody go say, probably, waiting be the happen before. And just like where Madam Django be reference. Say, it's still possible, say, the way how students and studious before, we have very many students who also studious these days. But probably, somebody could say it is probably because of the numbers now who they get. Formerly, sometimes in a school, now just 5 or 6 people they go sit O levels. But now you get, like the year when the seat was, it was about 900 of us. So imagine if an examiner, therefore go mark 900 scripts, for example. Yes, I'll just make an example. Formerly, it gets like 5 or 6. Now we are talking about 900 or so. You don't think, say, in fact, and they also go contribute. Sometimes somebody go, they were actually really brilliant, but maybe they're not getting the kind of attention we need for letting marking scripts where it's supposed to be marked.
I don't want to go to that script thing because the example, really go stand the test of time.
Okay.
But again, we'll not talk like, say, we know the inside the education system. You say self-share way they talk, so you're not a teacher. The questions that we ask now, I sure see you get answers to them. The same students that we advocate for, are they actually measuring up after you don't teach them for one semester? Are they actually, well, where they say are they, I know they talk of the few, where you and I will agree. You don't need a class, you don't need a master's class. So Monday will be speaking English in a class, Emilia. You know, be ask yourself as to what brought them here. And those are the things we should not have in with discussion when it comes to education.
Yeah, but we talk about radical inclusion. We want to bring everybody to the fold.
Yes, but not without undermining, the quality of education. Remember, we are in a global community. Where education, not for salon no more. Now, for make we get a type of graduates we would use for compete with other countries elsewhere. So that is why I made mention of the issue of Soriat. So we pull this Soriat. The way for sorry for students them. Now where they get problem with financial resources, we help them. Not to where the students not do well, we help them. Now they will for take sorry for them. Again, this is not to say I was praying for the people and take the exams 8 term. In fact, if I inside with all dictionaries we read, there is the word perseverance. If people are not the way don't they fail in life, they could not have emerged that vocabulary for persevere. You persevere because things don't go right. So for those maybe they fail and they attempt the exam severally, for them, you will see the exam, the outcome of that exam is their A all and Z all. Now so them being taken. If I not get this, nothing will happen to me. Do you have that type of determination? Again, it's not about the number of times when the pikin take the exam. Now the determination for getting results out of that exam. Perhaps that is where I want for hinge this argument.
For now, we don't go beyond time now. We try for round up. Like I'm to Mr. UPK. What are the prospects? Sierra Leone is 65 years old. If na motor man, you know, especially if na Saloni day, they think of, you know, retirement. You know, they think of going to Incona now. They relax. But do we still have prospects as a country?
I don't want to look at the prospect for now. I want to look at the challenges we face as a country.
Yes, quick one.
You know, when me dey from 5, we get one guy who start from 1, he see 2 levels, na Freetown, he fail. He can't send France. In fact, he can't sit down from 4. Because that time if he moves from school A to school B, he fail back, he go Freetown, he go services, he sit on one class, he sit and pass once. So this was my generation. I mean, and what thing they happen in this country, we students now they get more information at their hand than at any time in human history, right? What's in our problem, first of all, endemic corruption. From where Salome began, especially where we post-colonial leaders, whether it was Milton Magai, whether it was Sir Albert, whether it was Sheki, whether it was Tijan Kaba, whether it was Ernest Kuruma, even with Marabu, one great evil way they do Salone, na corruption. Every facet of Sierra Leone. You see one guy when I hold in an area, Now morning, he dey ride bicycle. The next moment, in party don't win, he becomes a minister. He dey drive a $50,000 Prado. The other day, in party done, he begin to Poyo. Look, some of you party the owner being member of owner being high flyers na McKinney. We and it's been there. Now only go fet for Poyo. You don't even ride bicycle and Okada. So when means the greatest your proximity to the state, now they guarantee you resources. Once you come on near, you go back to your real human being. We always, una all over na McKinney, una know una safe. Then, apart from corruption, tribalism. Look, we dey shy away from tribalism. Tribalism is one thing we don't fall away from where Salome begin from. Milton Magai to Sir Albert. In fact, most people, most writers, historians, writers believe say one person will start corruption big time. Now, the Magais, that building where it passed to Signal Hill, check when them build them. The building where they by Hillcourt Road where they come on Dombrook Fish Hotel, that Kingama Road, that building there, what should that checker? Go towards Full Street. So, not until the corruption begin. Sheki, you see people they magnify Sheki in corruption. Me, they argue, say the amount of corruption will happen in Sheki term, with this current one. A joke. And then they tell you, say, anti-corruption, anti-this, save me that. And you see where fundamental freedoms don't shrink? A member of parliament, when they sit down at Saloon Parliament, it is even free for call name. So when me and mortal, what will happen to me? Then another challenge is economic development. Until the vast majority of people are economically developed, let's forget about. No nation that grow gently by big. You go, the now Minister of Finance, they talk about IMF, World Bank, and excessive taxation. You pay teacher 3 million. You tax her. The man go with 2,500 owes. What he left? Teacher, the highest flying teachers then, now 3,500,000. Teachers now, the one that we get degree, we don't teach, now 2 million. You buy one bag rest. How much they left? You know, Salon get 2 laws. If you, they within political party proximity, any trade we fine. You can talk anything. If you then at the other side, it go bamba kayaka. And so what are the prospect to get? Again, we for leverage on entrepreneurship. Government not get all the jobs. What to make people the fet at election for being minister or for be like party canapa? You know, say when party come, it get work. Then go na statistics. Then call by name. Yunisa Kamara, Fatmata Kamara, Emil Kamara. Wanna come on? Then the other one then come. Is that the way we run a country? So we get on Sierra Leone, we young people about 60% until they are employed, right? And government not go employ them. So the private sector, government for set up policies where they make the private sector invest more and more.
All
right?
Thank you, Mr.
Me bag not done.
Okay.
Okay,
We need for time for continue this conversation
yes.
Because we run out of time.
Thank you.
Yes, let's come to Madam Jengo. Mr. UPK end with a point we get for do with the young people. You think say there is prospect for the young people in Sierra Leone? Because we don't talk about a lot of challenges.
But make this statement, I will forget. I want to make it now.
Yes. Okay.
The job the way they say that they provide for young people, a nasty job. Go to PC and Sons. Where you nasty jobs. Where you want for go buy the thing, you they see that the Salomane and they pay them not to by month, not by day. So these are young people, they not get job for the rest of their life. Then go there, they not get job. You see all the Indians, then come on at Tamil Nadu, come on and they come take the jobs, then where Sierra Leoneans for take. And in collusion with government, and people go tell you, say, local content. Where is the local content?
All right, yes, Madam Jango. So I mean, talk about the young people. Where are we? You think the young people ready for take leadership and fix this country? Or you think say the problem will continue if even the young people come on board?
I believe I still get confidence say young people they're ready for take up leadership, and we get a lot of young people there now where they make the effort. despite the fact we UPK mentioned, we agree unemployment very, very key na Sierra Leone. We get a lot of young people them way not get jobs. Some they do the kind jobs them way, not even dignify them as human beings. But notwithstanding, we also get considerable number of young people where they push, where they make some effort, where they do things them. The fact that they see say even on the social media now in terms of getting online TVs, all of these kind of things, young people, most of the one the way they establish them, they are young people making life for themselves, making themselves very, very useful. We get other people where, despite where we know say we come out college, we go take how many. In fact, where this past graduation at Unimark, over 800 and something people them, where I don't glad it say for the one that will graduate. At some point, I became so sad. I became remember how many of them go get job immediately, then graduate. But the fact remains, you still they see the excitement, you still they see the passion in young people them for learn this book, because we still get the confidence and believe say at the end of the day we go make an alive and we go contribute to the nation building of Sierra Leone. And for me, that's the confidence we I get and the hope we I still get. But more so, where we let women them na the hem of affairs, and we make woman, well, for me the issue of equality should not be a lip service thing. For me, in fact, I dey go beyond equality. I'm talking about equity. I dey left the issue of equality, but they look at equity. Once we get a nation we're serious and we ready for make women themselves take leadership, and we encourage those way they will not discourage, because the other problem now, if the few will get at the hem of affair for one reason or the other being discouraged, in fact the one that will not go there, they become scared and they become afraid. But I say to all of those women out there, in life there are challenges, there are difficulties, and we should not allow one person challenge and difficulty make we sit back. I'm one person where even where they do the where me and UPK them they work on the permanent chief election na Bombali Shebora, and we pull the flyer them for the panel discussion. A lot of people they come. God forbid. Now inside permanent chief tendency they see a woman as a moderator. Because we still get the culture and tradition. We still surround we still the tight we. So for them, that is not a woman's business. It should be a man's business. But I want to say to people that I am that one woman. We're always comfortable, like we did so now among men. Me, I'm not afraid. I don't care the number of men who are there. Once I'm there and I'm certain of what I want to do, I'm always comfortable. And so I want to say to women out there on this 65th anniversary of we independence, that step up, move out, and take up the challenge. And if you say you dey wait comfortably for let the thing can meet you before you move out, you will never progress in this country we call Sierra Leone. It's high time women and say, okay, I will not sit back and get it all ready made. Let me step out. Let me go out and move out.
Thank
and
you
face
so
the
much.
challenge.
Thank you so much, Madam Django. Honorable, as we dey try for round up, what will be your parting shots on the program today?
Thank you very much. In terms of the prospect, I go always say, because we need for encourage the one that we think so for go back. How we wish we not be don't get independence. Let's go back to the British rule. No, Sierra Leone get prospect, and why Sierra Leone get prospect? Because when you look at your demography, Sierra Leone we get more youthful, population than the aged. So that in itself means say the workforce is there. And so therefore, we believe say we get prospect as a country despite all the challenges. But these prospects they go depend on how as a people we ready for go beyond the usual word resilient people, resilience. We need for go beyond resilience to now a people we go demand standards, we go demand high level of service provision, high level for all people at a national level. Absolutely. And beyond party, regional, and other considerations. I think this is where our prospect for a Sierra Leone, a better Sierra Leone, go lie. So in this case, I admonish every one of us as we consider with regions, we consider with parties, let's also ensure say we take Sierra Leone as the number one. Me, in one policy where they always think, say, the type of president who will get, that type of president where they come, is say, I ready just for can do for do one term. Because sometimes I don't put the right things in place, they're not going to vote for me again. But I don't do the right thing. I don't put the right foundation from there where the country goes spring. So it behoves all of us as a people, not just the politicians. As members of parliament, we'll get through with challenges, we'll get through limitations. But let us come back, support the parliamentarians, support the government in the right way, not in the wrong way, so that the country will go before. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes, Madam Jengo, in 30 seconds, what will be your part in short?
Just for say happy independence to all Sierra Leonean women, and continue for encourage, especially, I'm coming, continue for encourage, especially the younger generation for say, this is the Sierra Leone way, you know the wait for like I meet you, but you have to step out there and take it. And to all Sierra Leoneans, I say happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. UPK, your part in short.
My part in short is, let we work for sincere leadership. Leadership has always been a problem. And me, I want to congratulate my fellow Sierra Leoneans that now I think we for happy because we don't see the 65th independent anniversary. Yes, challenges there, but let us continue for make more and more demands on we leaders. We not zombies, we are citizens. We don't give we leader the impression say now they no more get the country. We no mix para. No. Continue for shout, continue for make noise, and let we leaders them move we for tribal, regional, and other integration. And the jobs, let them share them according to the ethnic group, not to just one particular group.
Religious tolerance.
Religious tolerance. Me yesterday, because they say for going to church, I not go church yesterday. Me no elect a pastor for lead me country, right? Now leaders way for expel policies. If na pastor me want, na father the boy let go, we will continue. Not to pastor.
Thank you. Yes. Over to you, Brother Fona.
Me only want for say Buklan in business or what we can call education, not so only the issue of literacy, not so for just getting right. Education not a tool we go use for empower ourselves. Then we go out for the best type of education because now them best people learn they with the best type of education and then go able to do well in a salon and change the leadership and governance dynamics now we country.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable
I just pick the mic for 1 second. Just to say again, happy independence and for promise the people and say, we APC kind of power, everything will be fine in 2028.
All right, thank you very much. Fambul, this now Unimark Live, and today you don't listen to the Independence Day special, where we don't get intriguing and interesting conversation on Sierra Leone at 65, the gains, the challenges, and the prospects in the 21st century. And we guest them inside the program today. Na Amidou Umar Fona, we na the chairman for the Council of Principals, na the Northern Region, and we get Madam Emilia Kamara Jengo, we na the director for WUFRAD and a popular, women activist in the country. We get Unisa Patrick Kamara, we na the Dean of Faculty, Social Sciences, na the University of Makeni, and Honorable Peter Yambako Oma, we na a Member of Parliament representing Bombali District. So till next time, I want to tell you plenty thank you. Continue for follow Unimark Live, now with YouTube and Facebook channel. I want to use this opportunity for say plenty thank you to the technical team. We producer, we na Demba M. Kamara. We executive producer, we na Matthew Abdul Kano. We technical person, we na Nick Sanderson and Samuel P. Bangura. We camera operator, we na Mr. Abu Conte, and to the rest of the team, Edward and others within the technical team, I want to tell you plenty thank you for this wonderful edition. Me na una host for today, my name na Shabara Samba Payamba Kamara. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.